Good morning, it's Mama Jess. We are coming upon the end of the year, and people usually like to make a lot of big resolutions, like this is it, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna do it, and there's a big massive burst for maybe 2 weeks and then they peter out. And so I don't want you to get into that kind of overexcitement or just an overamped inspirational moment. You really need to go easy, slow down, be realistic. And it's really about getting your values established. If you have a value system, things that you value more than discomfort and inconvenience, you will succeed. So you got to get your value system established first. I value good health. So I will do anything to feel good, even if I have to pass on the desserts and the big fancy coffee drinks and whatever people are doing. But more than even good health, I value freedom. And that freedom hates tyranny. I hate being controlled by stupid people. I hate adapting to inefficient, stupid systems that waste time and energy and suck the joy out of your life. So if you can up the game on your value system, you will see you will have a lot more motivation. So rather than wake up like, I don't want to go on a walk today, I don't want to have to eat well, if you go, oh, wait a second, I don't want to be controlled by stupid people. I don't want to be a slave to the medical system who's going to put me on an allopathic gauntlet of medication and I'm never going to get better. Not that all allopathy is bad, but allopathy, but I've not found relief in it. So for this new year, as a maternal mama here, I really want you to sit down with yourself and see, what do you value? Do you value feeling sick? Do you value feeling bored? Do you value having no meaning in your life? Do you value feeling like you're a pawn for whomever is trying to become your slave master and steal your attention? So think about those things, write those down. And then these are my recommendations. So if you want to get a piece of paper and a pencil, pen, I don't do fancy videos because I'm old and tired. And my soul is old. It's burned out by too much living. And I don't have the energy to enter into all those fancy details to make a really rad YouTube video. So I'm just here gonna read these right here. So these are my recommendations that will really help you feel better, will help you, because if you don't have these established in your life, you're going to be super depressed and tanked, because there's enough coming at you in this life that'll depress you. But if you don't have these things, you are not going to make it. So the first thing is you absolutely have to learn to eat properly. You have to learn to eat the right foods to nourish your brain, all of your organs, your nervous system. If you don't do that, you're going to feel really rotten. And then you're going to become an addict, like so many adults in this country, to stimulants. And that's not good. That'll burn your nervous system out. And then you'll end up having to be on disability. And then that means you'll have to be dependent on the diagnosis and the medications of the Western medical model that are clearly not helping people get well. And so as far as learning to eat right, I know that a lot of you are in the city, and you can't always, get a dairy cow and a bunch of chickens and grow a big garden. So just to start simple, I recommend Sally Fallon's book called Nourishing Traditions. It's going to have all of the just absolutely invaluable information for your health and a bunch of really great recipes. And that's also affiliated with Weston A. Price. And I recommend getting his book. I can't remember it right now. But if you go to westonaprice.org, you will come upon all of his information. And so some of the things I recommend for this year, learn how to ferment vegetables, like sauerkraut. Really make a great sauerkraut. Learn how maybe to make long ferment sourdough bread, and render your own fat from beef, which will be tallow, or pig, which would be lard. So if you can do those things, you're going to really start feeling proud of yourself and good. Also, you need a sleep schedule. Do not enter into the chaos of this culture. Don't allow the light bulb to dominate you. Just because we can stay up late doesn't mean our bodies want to. So we need to honor that natural cycle of the body. Definitely avoid that blue light screen, because that mimics the sunshine and it makes your brain think it's time to stay up. So you want to, just get some really mellow lighting, even like a salt lamp. Those are so cool. They permeate this really warm, incandescent light, and it's soothing to the body, and it will help you sleep well. Because if you're not sleeping well, you'll go mad. You'll get really sick. So don't think that, like when we're little, we go, oh, well, the adults get to stay up. They get to stay up late. And sometimes adults have chores they haven't been able to get done. But I don't want you to mimic the model of this country. This country is dying. It's burning its nervous system out. Everyone gets all this medication, and people are sick. And so don't think the adults know what's going on. So just because you can stay up late doesn't mean you should. Try to get in bed around 8:30 and just kind of mellow out and doze off around 9. Or even sometimes if you're working really hard and it gets dark early, like winter months, you might go to bed earlier. I've been on farms where I was so tired after 12 hours of work and it was dark by 5, I would be in bed by 6 and wake up at 6. And I really never felt better. So we have lost the healthy models to be healthy people and to sustain ourselves into our old age. There's an enormous number of people with sleep problems, insomnia, and it doesn't need to be that way. So just like a child needs a sleep schedule, adults do too. So I don't know why we fall out of that practice thinking that kids need more sleep than adults. Kids are growing, but adults have way more stress, and they need to detox their body through their sleeping, and they need to rebuild on a really deep cellular level and soul level. The more you're rested, the less you panic about things. You're just more relaxed. And then exercise, right? So you're always hearing people say you need a good sleep, good diet, and exercise. But I don't want you to do what Americans do. I don't want you to go blow yourself out on a CrossFit regimen and push yourself so hard with something that's not sustainable. Make sure that it's something you can do for the next 50 years. I came upon a book years ago when I was at a farm in Idaho. It was an old homestead book. The first chapter said, you will be doing these movements for 50 years. So make sure that you're doing the movements properly and you're going easy. Like, there's nowhere to be to go that hard and fast and burn yourself out. Okay. Right now, tending to your responsibilities is where you need to be. So you're not missing out. So again, can you sustain this exercise for the next 50 years? If you can, then I recommend taking it up. Otherwise, axe it and find something that is more realistic and sustainable so you don't live a life of injury and burnout, which so many people in this country are now suffering as extreme sports are really popular in our youth. And just the extreme nature of American mindset. It's just too fast, too hard, go harder, be bigger, be big. It's absolute nonsense, and it'll really harm you. So everything's about like go easy for the long haul. I recommend like long walks are really good. Maybe like the Boy Scouts, the old Boy Scouts would do like jog for 30 seconds, walk for 30 seconds, jog for 30 seconds, walk for 30 seconds. Try to do it in a park or some kind of oxygenated forest if you can. Try to get out of the busy, toxic city with all of its fumes and pollutants and electromagnetic fields and who knows what else is going on. But just try to go easy. If you can get involved in some kind of stretch program, definitely try. Yoga has an incredible, it's an incredible source of strength and flexibility for the body that you can do well into your old age. But I don't believe in practicing it as far as the religion. I did it for years, and I find that I always fall back on it when I have an injury. But yeah, you don't have to worship it. You don't have to practice it as a religion or a spiritual philosophy. I know a lot of Christians get freaked out about it, but you can just do it as stretching. And I do find it. I have been an athlete my whole life, and it was the only thing that healed some of my severe water polo injuries deep in my psoas. No other stretch could access those certain muscles. So you don't have to freak out about it, but also don't get like super goofy into it. And be careful, because those environments can steal you away from the true spirituality in Jesus. That's really where you're going to find life, the creator of heaven and earth. Because some of the yoga studios I've gotten involved in, the amount of self-discipline and like saving yourself through your own practice was enormous. And it can breed a lot of self-righteousness. So you definitely don't want to go that way. But you don't have to hate those people. You don't have to, you don't have to be mean about it. Just don't follow in any way that's not Jesus Christ. And then this is, so we're doing like basic, right? All the basic 3 whammies that people are always starting at the beginning of the year. I'm going to get good exercise. I'm going to eat right, get good sleep, and I'm going to be great. But what you'll find is if you have these lingering stresses, like massive stresses in your life, a lot of what you're doing to help your health is not going to help you. So 2 things. You need to learn to manage your money. Don't spend more than you make, and set some aside for difficult times in life, because they will come, and you're going to need to have some extra money set aside. So don't waste your money on frivolous, stupid things. Don't follow the trends. Don't think you have to upgrade everything. Just be wise. What do you really need? And what are your future goals? Do you ever want to buy a home? Well, then set money aside for that. Even if it seems like it's an impossible, daunting task. I just met a young firefighter girl. For 3 years, she's been working. She's buying a house in Santa Cruz, the most expensive place almost in the world, like one of the top 5 most expensive places in the world. So if she did it, you can do it too. There are opportunities out there. And the other thing is, you have to get away from toxic people. If there's one staple in your life that will make you more sick than anything, it would be eating the toxic, poisonous, just filth that comes out of a very toxic person's mouth, the criticisms, the judgments, the gaslighting, the nagging, the delusions, the talking, talk, but they never change, the project people that never start or never finish their project. Like, you got to get away from those people. So this might be a very lonely way, especially for a time, and don't be afraid of that. Sadly, so much in our country is, like, even I'm in the city right now. I'm in the city, as you know, I've been displaced. I'm not living in the farm world like I love so much, but I'm in the city. It is incredibly lonely, boring. I don't really know what to do with myself. I want to go out and tend plants and care for animals and be around people of like mind. And it reminds me of why I left the city life. So, but I did develop an enormous number of skills while I was in the city early on, but then I sought to be out on the land somewhere, doing farming, doing permaculture, doing homesteading. And so that will most likely be the natural progression. But so it will take a while. So it might be kind of a solitary way. You might feel like you're on a little urban island by yourself trying to get well when everyone around you is just watching TV. You'll be the sole person out in the neighborhood walking or running or biking or trying to be out. Maybe you do want to start trying to plant some plants and learn how to grow food, or get a little flock of chickens if you have the space. But you'll see it might be very lonely, and that's okay, because you have God, you have yourself that is growing up in wisdom and skills, and you'll begin to attract like-minded people. So don't give up if you just feel dreadfully lonely, or that you're an oddball and people are making fun of you, because they will. They will. And we are in an incredibly judgmental, critical, sarcastic culture that just actively tries to hurt people and make them feel bad. So just know that those people are not in the game. They don't exist in your world. You're in a whole new kingdom of God and love and health and peace, and all those mockers and scoffers and I just call them idiots. They're just fools. They're not in the game. They're not going to participate, and they have no place to speak into your life. So, Happy New Year. Take time maybe to watch this video again if you missed any of those points. But I care about your life. I'm so sorry that you have been, you few generations that are listening probably, you've just been hammered with so much toxicity and negativity and hopelessness. But I don't want you to give up. Don't focus on like the super long distance track right now. Remember, God's light is a light unto my path, under my feet, right? That light will be right around your feet. It'll give you just enough to take the next step, the next step, the next step. So go easy on yourself and know that I'm rooting for you. And I know how it feels to go through the hardships and the loneliness. But you'll begin to experience the joy of finding peace and wellness and God and your true self that God wants you to be. One that is aligned with the truth and reality, and you will find a lot of joy there. There will be grief the more you walk in the truth, when you see what's really going on in the world, and you won't be able to distract yourself from it with addictions and escapism. But you will grow the resilience to be able to withstand the hardships. And then you'll be able to help others come out of the darkness and the boredom and the lack of meaning that really seems to be infiltrating so many in this country. All right, I love you. Happy New Year, and I'll talk with you soon.